In this video, I'm going to focus on a few topics. First of all, we're going to talk about a new lawsuit that was filed against the State Department, specifically focusing on the issue of unlawful suspension of visa processing, essentially limiting people's ability to enter the United States if they were residing in the Schengen area and a few other countries that were prohibited from entering into the United States. Remember, the visa processing, the visa issuance in those countries should have never stopped, but it did stop unlawfully by those embassies and consulates, and therefore they are being sued right now. It is important for you to understand the scope of the lawsuit and how it could potentially help your case if you're not currently stuck and waiting for your visa interview. In the second part of the video, we'll talk about the news that the State Department has expanded eligibility for national interest exceptions to the travel ban in places like Brazil, Iran, Republic of China, Ireland, and the Schengen area countries, South Africa, and the United Kingdom. Specifically, foreign nationals that are applying for immigrant visas and fiancé visas are going to be able to enter the United States without quarantining for 14 days abroad, as subject to these exceptions. Now, we're going to talk in this video how exactly it's going to work and how this change will impact the current visa backlog that we're all experiencing right now in the different embassies and consulates abroad. So what are you waiting for? I'll see you on the other side. Hello everybody, welcome back to our immigration channel. This is a place where we get the most up-to-date immigration news, immigration updates, and everything else you need to make your immigration journey less stressful. My name is Jacob Sapochnick and I'm an immigration attorney located in San Diego, California. If you're here for the first time, make sure to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. And also give us a big like so YouTube will be able to share this video with more people just like you. In this video, we're going to talk about some very important topics, specifically the most recent litigation that is challenging the State Department, their lack of interest or intention to issue visas, blaming it on the various proclamations. So this recent lawsuit is called Kinsley versus Blinken, and you'll be able to follow that on Twitter and all the other places where there are going to be updates from the attorneys that are pursuing this litigation. Let's see what this complaint states in essence. It states the following: defendants have unlawfully relied on certain suspensions on entry that apply to individuals who were physically present in the Islamic Republic of Iran, the People's Republic of China, the Federative Republic of Brazil, South Africa, the Republic of Ireland, the United Kingdom, and the Schengen area of Europe during the 14-day prior to seeking entry. These regional entry bans based on presence allow for entry after the individual has remained outside the designated countries for 14 days. However, defendants have refused to issue visas to plaintiffs, which would allow them to quarantine in a third country for 14 days prior to seeking entry. As you can see, despite the fact that if a visa would have been issued to somebody from Ireland or from South Africa or from China, they could have chosen to quarantine in a different country for 14 days and then enter the United States. They had that choice. Yet, the State Department refused to give them that choice and completely denied them the option to get a visa. And that's exactly what this lawsuit is about. As of now, April 12, 2021, we hear that CBP pre-clearance unit in London specifically authorized K1s to travel to the United States despite the travel ban still in force, but they respect the exceptions that were just issued last week. So remember that if you are traveling from any of these countries, you should be able to safely enter the United States if you already have a visa, and if you don't have a visa, you should be able to request a visa to be scheduled at the moment if you are traveling from any of these countries. But again, the purpose of the lawsuit is clearly to put the State Department on the spot and to show that what they've done was not right, it was illegal, and hopefully I'll be able to update you further once we have more progress on this litigation. Remember, CBP confirmed this week that you can travel even if you have a visa that says, for example, K1, subject to a proclamation. You should be able to still use that visa and enter the United States because it's now under an exception. Overall, these are great news And of course, as we have more information about what's happening with this litigation, I promise to update you right here on this channel. Let's talk about the State Department expanded exceptions to the regional travel bans. Now I've done a YouTube live about this. We talked about it briefly, but I wanted to kind of expand that more in this video because I got a lot of questions from you guys. So this video is created just for you. Let's summarize actually what happened. So the State Department has expanded eligibility for national interest exceptions to the regional COVID-19 travel bans in the following areas: Brazil, China, Ireland, Schengen area, South Africa, and the United Kingdom. What it also means is foreign nationals entering on immigrant visas or K-1 fiancé visas are now qualified under the national interest exceptions automatically. In addition to that, certain exchange visitor programs typically entering on a J-1 visa are also subject to these exceptions, including J-1 au pairs, J-1 interns, trainees, and specialized training J-1s. Remember that this policy became effective immediately last week. However, quite a few of these embassies and consulates are still operating in reduced capacity, short staffing, and inability to see people on a regular basis. Therefore, you should definitely be expecting a lot of delays in the next few months. So what does it mean for you, the foreign national that is waiting overseas trying to get in here? Let's talk about immigrant visas and fiancé visas first. So while they are subject to this exception, which is great, remember that the processing capacity of these embassies, whether it's in the Schengen countries, whether it's in Brazil or South Africa, are still quite limited. This means that even though they are supposed to be issuing those visas right now, as far as we know, visas are not being issued yet. Therefore, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, the Kinsley lawsuit is important because that lawsuit will essentially force embassies and consulates to start issuing visas right now. These exemptions are definitely a good start, but it's not going to guarantee that people are going to start getting their appointments and visas tomorrow. Again, this is because of the backlogs, the large amount of cases that are still pending, and the fact that these consulates and embassies are not yet fully reopened. How about certain exchange visitors coming on a J-1 visa? If you're coming as an au pair, you definitely have to come for a purpose of caring for some minors of US citizens or LPRs, or typically to help parents like medical doctors or people in the medical industry that need to be working and they need somebody to help care for their children. The J-1 au pair program has been very, very popular to help bring those people, to help relieve the healthcare workers so they can go out there and help fight COVID-19 and all these related issues that come around it. So definitely J-1's a priority right now, and also for trainees and for interns that are working in different industries, they're going to be able to enter now under these exceptions. Finally, these exceptions apply for pilots and aircrew traveling to the United States for training. So finally, as a reminder, it is important to be aware that these exceptions are in place, and also to be in touch with your individual embassy and consulate. We've seen cases where interviews were scheduled and then they were canceled within a week or two after. Then it's your responsibility to contact the consulate and try to find the easiest, the quickest way to get your appointment rescheduled again. We feel that the only solution to this will be definitely working with the embassy and consulates, pushing them to reopen more and more as country conditions obviously enable them to do so. We know that they continue to train more staff. We know that they continue to expand their local facilities. It is important to know that it's different for each embassy, and it's up to you to follow up with your individual posts to see when they reopen and when you can get that interview scheduled. But they can't use the proclamation anymore to not issue those visas. So hopefully this information was helpful. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions, if you're impacted, and what other videos you would like for me to make on these related topics. And also, if you're here for the first time, do not forget to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell to be notified when new videos come out, and also when we go live, give us a big like so YouTube will be able to share this video with more people just like you. And again, reminder, if you want to talk about your case, if you need help with your immigration matter, please text me at 619-483-4549. This number was created just for you guys. You'll be able to connect with me, set up a consultation, and I'll be able to help you move your case further. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you at our next video.